Thank you so much, sir, for speaking to NDTV. Congratulations first. 3-1 is the score at this moment. Everybody was touting this as the semi-final for 2024. You've hit the ball out of the park in the semi-final, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, Adya. Thank you for congratulations. And I think, to sum it up, I would rather say that this is a reiteration of the trustworthiness and the confidence the people of India have in Prime Minister Modi, and to put it in the popular jargon, trustworthiness of the Modi guarantee, and being implemented through the double engine arrangement. And I think, of course, the three states we had expected, but I would rather even like to start from the state where we are not forming a government, namely Telangana, which we were discussing right now. I think what Congress got there was by default, the negative vote against the ruling party. But as far as BJP is concerned, we have qualitatively enlarged our ideological base, our mass base. So I think that's very significant, because in a state where, without being modest, I must confess, we had certain contradictions. But despite the barriers of language, region, etc., and all the kinds of misgivings being spread about BJP, we have succeeded in making inroads. And I think, again, the single most important factor responsible has been Prime Minister Modi.
Okay.
The road shows, the rallies addressed by him attracted the similar crowds in the same number as was witnessed in Madhya Pradesh. So that has another aspect as well. I think it augurs well for the Indian polity, a new kind of culture coming in. We have for the first time a Prime Minister whose name acts as a binding cord across the country, north, south, east, west, northeast.
I
think from that point of view, we, as you said, 3-1. Yeah, 3-1. But just let me complete this sentence. Sure. I said, you rightly said 3-1 from the point of view of making government, but I would rather say that even one, that we are not forming government, it's a significant achievement, which I'm sure is going to be spelled out by the analysts as the editorials start appearing from tomorrow.
So do you believe, because we've seen in the last few elections, when it's Congress versus BJP head-to-head, the BJP more often than not comes on the top. It's easier for you, historically, if you see in the recent elections, to take on the Congress party than the regional satraps. Now the Congress party ruling Telangana for 2024, do you see this as possibly a much easier battle than it would have been against BRS?
I think BJP is gradually enlarging its base, even in a state like Telangana, and yes, you may have a point in real politics, in the sense that when we are confronting directly a regional party, then sometimes the regional parties have the advantage of raking up certain kind of a sentiment which would be exclusively pertaining to the region, which might not be fitting into the ideological framework that a national party and a nation-committed nationalistic party like BJP does. But that apart, I think Modi has tried to set in a new political culture based on development and based on welfare schemes. So that is, I think, something which is going to make a huge difference in the kind of work culture in politics that the future generations will also be, expected to follow. Like, for example, you have schemes like Ujjwala, you have Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. The benefit reaches to the one who needs it the most, regardless of caste, creed, region, language. And even regardless of the vote consideration. Nobody asks what party do you vote for, which are you going for. And secondly, those sections which were hitherto unaffected or not attended enough, like for example Vishwakarma, the traditional artisans who were earning their living through traditional arts and also keeping the civilization alive. They are as much there in equal numbers in a state like Telangana as elsewhere. So these are the sections which none of the earlier governments addressed to. So now I think, and with the new voter having come in large number, with 70% of the India's population below the age of 40, they see reason. So it's more of the benefit going equitably depending on who needs the most, reaching out to those who require us, instead of, getting carried away by the regional sentiment, which, as you rightly mentioned, could have been a constraint for a national party like BJP.
Let me ask you one by one about the 3 states that the party has won, and let me start with Chhattisgarh. Was this the sweetest surprise for the day? Because trust me, even in the morning, there are senior leaders of the Bharatiya Janata Party who always thought that it is going to be close, but nobody was confident that the party is going to cross the halfway mark and will in fact trump the Congress party. The pollsters were not giving it to the BJP. Is this the sweetest victory as far as the BJP is concerned, and what worked it for the Bharatiya Janata Party?
No, I agree. The tally may be higher than what we had expected, but victory would be there was quite definite. For example, I'll tell you how. We have a pattern of working in BJP. It's a cadre-driven party. So all of us are assigned responsibilities wherever the election and whatever the level of election, whether it's a local body election or assembly or part. So I was assigned Rajasthan, so I was based there all these months. But whenever we would exchange our views or inputs with our counterparts, those looking after Chhattisgarh, I vividly remember each time when I asked them, how are we doing, they would say with all the confidence that regardless of whatever is being put out, BJP is going to form the government. So those who were actually in touch with the ground and connected with the politicking happening over there locally were quite confident, because there's a huge amount of anti-incumbency, corruption charges, and I think above all, what has made difference both in Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh is that people, the common man in heart of hearts, may not say so in many words, but realizes that there is actually benefit in having a double engine sarkar. Now, double engine is a phrase which sometimes is taken with a pinch of salt. Many people don't even like to appreciate it, but it does make sense, because many of the schemes like Ayushman Yojana, like PM Awas Yojana did not find translation on the ground in the same manner as they have found in the neighboring states like Madhya Pradesh, or in case of Rajasthan like Gujarat, Uttar Pradesh. So the common voter understands that he is depriving himself of the benefit of that. So I think that's what strikes the chord.
You spoke about Rajasthan, and you've been involved with the state of electioneering as far as the state of Rajasthan is concerned. One question that everybody at this moment who is celebrating the BJP's victory is, who is going to be the chief minister, sir, in the state of Rajasthan? Can you give our viewers some clue? There were so many leaders of your party which seem that were in the fray. Who do you, at this moment is current favourite?
No, I'm sure anybody, in my place, sitting over here from BJP would be put this question, rightly so. I appreciate that. But the answer also has to be predictable, because we are a disciplined party. We have a pattern of working. It's not a dynasty-driven party. The decisions are not taken in the kitchen coterie or sitting on the dining table between mother and son or father and son. So we have a parliamentary board that the consensus is resolved. Observers are appointed. They elicit the views of each and every legislator separately, collectively, and then finally a decision is made, and the announcement is unanimously accepted by all. So I think the same pattern is going to be followed this time over as well.
The only state which has been able to buck the anti-incumbency trend that we have seen in these elections, because the government of Telangana lost, the government of Chhattisgarh seems to be losing, and also the government of Rajasthan. The only state that has bucked that trend is Madhya Pradesh. 166 at this moment, plays 62 of this, where the Congress party is concerned. Who will you credit this victory to? Is it the Ladli Behna, which has just, completely spun a magic for the Bharatiya Janata Party?
No, I think you have made a very important point. Why no anti-incumbency in Madhya Pradesh when the same is being witnessed in Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan and Telangana? I think one important reason, of course, the schemes are there. We have the Ujjwala and we have PM Awas Yojana, so many schemes rolled out. But what I was saying in my earlier expression is that two reasons, I think. Many of these welfare schemes, which are hugely reaching the last mile, and the last man in the last queue, rolled out by Prime Minister Modi, did not find the similar kind of translation in the states which were not ruled by BJP. So, second, anti-incumbency also, because there was no anti-incumbency in Madhya Pradesh. But anti-incumbency because of corruption, anti-incumbency also because the people there now becoming increasingly aware, thanks to the social media and all the channels of communication, the huge technology available around us.
Right.
could actually understand that they were being deprived of huge benefit which was available to the other states. So that's the reason there was no anti-incumbency, because the Modi schemes found a saturation translation in Madhya Pradesh and were not adversely affected by corruption charges or by pilferage of central funds, which was happening in states like Rajasthan. You could see the full page advertisements in the newspapers depicting the chief minister, etc., which doesn't happen when you have a double engine sarkar, because there is a huge amount of accountability. So lack of accountability, lack of translation of the central schemes initiated by Modi on the ground, and also anti-incumbency because of the corruption again,
Mr.
due
Singh,
to lack of accountability.
in conclusion,
so I think all these factors have been.
In conclusion, before I let you go, sir, when Karnataka happened, a lot of BJP leaders said, do not extrapolate anything for 2024 with what has happened in Karnataka. At this moment, would the BJP want to extrapolate a lot out of what has happened in these three states? Is it game, set and match for Narendra Modi? Is that what the Bharatiya Janata Party now believes in?
Yeah, see, the mood of the people is now quite obvious. But having said that, let me also put the record straight. I would not be pretentious. These questions are put to us or asked because the mind conditioning of the observers is influenced by the half a century of the Congress rule. But here in BJP, we follow a different pattern. This is a 24 into 7 into 365 party. And just note my words. Today, the results have come out. By tomorrow or day after, I'm sure the party headquarters is going to summon the meeting of the next state which is going to the elections whenever it happens. So we are continuously working. It's not that we get charged only during election. We start visiting temples during the election campaign. So we have a pattern which is always on the job, and election happens as in the course of our the ongoing activity, and it's taken that side. So notwithstanding the fact that Modi ji is a huge asset for us, and today's result has actually boosted the morale of each and every karyakarta, so also every countryman. Our way of working and the kind of input that is put in by each of the karyakarta will continue unrelented even in the days to come.
So congratulations today for the victory of the Bharatiya Janata Party in 3 states in the complete Hindi heartland. Thank you so much for joining us.